Welcome to Market Services focusing on fundamentals for directional bias and technical for an entry. And last week was a good week, and this week is all fully packed with volatility in the market as we'll be having central bank meetings. So we'll be looking at the Aussie inflation data on Tuesday, Wednesday, the BOJ CPI on Tuesday, and the market is already pricing in a higher inflation for Aussie. The BOC market is pricing in a 25 BPS cut, and the Fed FOMC cutting by 25. Already it is priced in, but the cut, if we look at it in a scenario of a bullish cut, that would be bullish for the big C. So the BOJ also, the market is not pricing anything for them, so it's about their statement on Thursday. And we have the ECB on Thursday also with the GDP from the USD, and then the core PC coming out on Friday, which is tentative. So I don't think that will come out due to the government shutdown. Going to the big C as the very first thing we look at is the chart. What we see here from the weekly is still the same as we talked about price being bearish, but it is reacting from a demand. It's monthly demand here. Alright, so if you reacted to market might be going to the upside, but on the weekly time frame, structurally again, it is bearish. So, but this is a bullish move to the upside. We haven't seen now. This market is at an indecisive area. What we are expecting probably is there's going to be a weak big C and maybe a long from there, then we get a short, or the market just starts dropping. But if we are going to get a bullish big C, we might see at the FOMC, we might see price coming lower and then pushing to the upside. Then we continue. So it will be very, very important to understand what they have for us. So with that scenario, what are the pairs I'm looking at? I look at my GU. It's still bearish. So it's quite very bearish to me. And we look at this internally. This is the market structure. Now we have this. So we're expecting a pullback from here to keep on shorting. So that's my high probability for the week. If you look at it from 1 hour, this is what we got. Look at this from 15 minutes. So we are going to the downside for GU. We look at for NU as I'm still in this position already. For NU, so if we look at it carefully, I'm considering this as the internal range of this. So if that should be the case, I expect a push from there and a short. Why? Because NZD is actually, I think, one of the weakest in line with CAD, but CAD is not showing some strength because of the inflation data that came out positively for CAD. And for that reason, I'm not long on USD CAD. I'm short on USD CAD. On the weekly time frame, what we see here is this is a bullish move, right? It just broke this structure. It just broke this structure here. So I expect the market to pull back to continue longing. And where is the pullback here? If you look at this on your monthly time frame, where do we have a zone? There is nothing there. So we are focused with the weekly. So if the market wants to push higher from here, I don't think it will go deeper. So where is the demand here on the weekly? There is no demand there apart from the one below. So can we say this is our demand area that has to be mitigated for price to continue higher? potentially. So which means when what price gets here, we'll be looking for long. Why? Because this is structural low range, and now we've got this range here. So if we have this break, that will be a lower low to push. So you can stop the trade eating to this point, then you will see continuation along it. That is what I'm saying. But if it should break lower with big CB, then we expect the music card to get to 1.38500 area. And for I'm actually expecting push to the upside this point before we can say short. The yen is very, very weak. Going to USD Swiss, no, it's bearish. It's very clear. But I expected price to get up to this point before I can look for my own shot. So with that, I'm good with the math in the market. Now remember there is yen weakness on the board. So what I expect in the yen is if you look at this on the weekly, it is bullish and Swiss is quite strong because of this. The market is going to be looking at more risks due to central bank. So the savers that the Swiss and the yen might be bullish, but I believe also savers all the savers going to be moving at the same time. The best that would move should be the Swiss. And for this reason, I expect to see the USD Swiss to move to the upside on the 1 hour or the 4 hour. So this is not a full price action. But if we can see something like this, okay, then I would like to do that. In as much as we are cutting the interest rate from card, it is still stronger than the yen. So I expect this 109.8 area to be taken out. So if we see a push here, a pullback, and we can long this. So between Monday, Tuesday, we should have a very good one from there. DJ is equivalently the same thing. So equal highs must be created. So the price should go higher. That's what I'm looking out for. But should it push down in here, this would be fantastic. Remember the euro is kind of strong, but it's not stronger than the Aussie in these instances, and I just don't understand why. But I won't be doing anything on this euro card seems better because of the card interest rate cut. So here would make so much sense. I'll be looking out for my long here. It was a good shot for us last week. And then the euro NZD seems interesting. Seems interesting. So this last doji candle looks like a grab of liquidity. It grabbed all this liquidity here, push to the upside. So both equal and this other high. So I believe price should continue from here. So this is also on my watch list. Let's just see how the market is going to react. For the pound, the pound Aussie was a good shot last week. Yes. So why it was a good shot? If you look at this on your weekly time frame, look at this. You've been lower, low, lower, high, lower, lower, high. So if you go to your daily, it's plain. Okay, I was expecting quite somewhere here, and we had this rejection. I couldn't get in. The 4 hours, what I had, this was a good shot area, but I was not available to take the shot. And then this shot came in here, waited for my lower time frame. And then we have this final bottom structure here. So this is what now expected price to go deeper, but no, this is a continuation. Expecting price, but if it should continue to this point, then we look at this shot all the way down here. So this is my outlook for the week. Nothing much. Pound face looks good to short, but it's not giving me the best of price action. Now I believe there will be inflows in gold this week due to too much volatility. Gold is reacting from this daily demand, which I expect price to head higher. Now the question is to where this previous the candle that closed is a doji showing in the vision So if we see a push, we should see a push at least in 4200 area, because this is going to be H4 supply zone. So uh 2400, 240, sorry, 4240 area should be good for a short into. So should see something like that. And that's all we have for the week. That's all we have for the week. Please have a good day.